Hello and welcome to this Android event tutorial brought to you by North Border Software. My name is Gary. This is part 6 of the series where we're looking at working with Google Maps for Android. In this particular tutorial we're going to look at the Geo Coder. The Geo Coder is a class within the Android system which will allow us to enter part of an address, a town, a city or a zip code, and then convert that into a longitude and latitude such that we can find that on the map. So to do this, we're going to use this search bar we set up in the very first tutorial. So we'll be able to enter some text in here, then hit the go button, and then we'll go and find that particular location on the map. Okay, so let's get down to the Java. First of all, we just want to create an object of the go button there. So I'll just call this Geo Location Button. Okay, so let's just associate that object with a view. So it'll be and it's BT search is the ID for that. So what I do is just add a one-click listen now. Okay, so that's the framework for the button. What I want to do now is just get the text from the edit text. Okay, so the view ID was ET location entry, so I'm just going to put that text into the search text object here. So now I'm just going to create a string value to finally hold that particular text. Okay, so now we have the text we want to work with in this string value search. So what we're going to come on to now is actually working with the Geo Code Components. Obviously when we enter some text in that search box we could have multiple results. For instance, there is a Paris in France and a Paris in Texas, so we need a structure really which can hold the address information but be of variable length. So array lists are ideal for this, and what the Android system does, it predefines an array list for us which we're going to use. So I'm just going to set up an object of that now. Okay, so what we can do is just get this by doing Alt Enter. We've got some options here to import some the relevant class. So just going to import that class to get rid of that particular error there. Okay, so we set up a null address list. Essentially, what we're going to do, we're going to get the geocoder to return the results into that address list. And we don't know how long that's going to be, but we can actually tell the geocoder just to return one entry in this particular case. So this is what we need to do now. We need to first of all create an object of the geocoder. So I've just set an object of the geocoder, and I've set the context to be maps activity dot this. So what we need to do now is actually get the start to populate the address list. We'll just put the code in, and we're just going to review the code when we've actually done it. So okay, so we're going to populate the array list, which is called address list. I've asked the geocoder to get from location name using that particular method. We're going to pass the search string, which will be from our edit text, and this number here just signifies that we're going to return one result. So we've got an area here because it's going to want to surround this with a try and a catch. So that's what we'll do. Okay, and we've got another little area here, so we just need to change this address list type to what's recommended there. Good. So what we need to do now is actually get use the address class to actually get the information from the address list itself. We're going to just pull the first entry, which is actually the only entry from the address list. So the Java address class is essentially it's an array again. It holds an array of strings which defines the address itself. So there'll be a full postal address in there. There'll also be longitude and latitude, and it's that we're particularly interested in getting. There may be other information as well, such as phone numbers. So it's worth just taking a look to see the components of that address class itself. Okay, first of all, I just need to set up an object of the address class. And we've got to make sure we import the right one. So what we're looking for is Android location address. Just make sure that's the one that's actually imported. Okay, and I'm just going to call this address. Okay, so what we're going to do is get the first element of the array list called address list. We're going to store that in the address object, which we've set up here, which is an object of the Android address class. Okay, so what we need to do now is just actually get the longitude and latitude from that address. So let's set up a new lat-lang. Okay, so we'll set up a new object, lat-lang object, and we're simply going to get the coordinates from the address using the get latitude and get longitude method. Worth taking some time to look at the Android address class, because there's quite a lot of information you can actually get from the geocoder itself. Okay, so what we need to do now is add a marker. Okay, so with the marker, I've just added the marker in a normal way. The position will be the lat-lang, which will be defined here. Just giving it a title from the geocoder, just to differentiate it from anything else we're doing. The last thing we want to do is just move the camera to that location itself. So we're just going to animate the camera. So we're just telling the camera to move to the lat-lang itself, which would be the same location as the marker. It's actually one other thing I want to do before we go and test the app. If we actually pass a blank search string to the geocoder, it's going to crash the app. So I just want to put an if statement in here just to bypass this code to ensure that we haven't got a null string or we're not passing a blank field. Okay, so all I've said here is that if the string has not been initialized, if the string has been initialized and if the text field we've entered does not equal a blank string, then we'll go ahead and execute the code. If not, we'll just bypass that, and that just protects the app. So all we need to do now is go ahead and test the app. Okay, so I've got the app loaded now. I'm just going to start the app up. So let's just hit the button here. So the situation where we've got the blank text entry field is taken care of. So I'm just going to put in a city. I'll just get rid of the keyboard there and hit the go button. And you can see that's taken us to London there, and it's added the marker in. It's from the Geo Coder. Let's do a new one to New York. Let's take away the keyboard there, and there you can see it's just homed into New York really well. So that's working the way we want it to work. So we'll catch you in part 7 where we're going to look at the sat view. Alright, bye for now. Remember to like, share and subscribe if you found this tutorial set useful, and all the source code and project files are available for download from my website. Thank you.